remember someone's name and you know their story, miracles can happen, and they do, because I've seen them.
One of my first missions was to Heathcote, which is closed down now. And in there, I was in the locked ward. Oh God, it was like being in hell. We're in a little room, about 20 of us, smoking, no ventilation. They didn't let us out into the yard for 2 weeks.
I was diagnosed with a mental illness 22 years ago and spent the last 18 years in and out of hospitals every month. First of all, they diagnosed me with schizophrenia, then they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder, and really they didn't know what to do with me. I was overdosing every month. They just didn't know what to do with me.
Early 20s, I got diagnosed with manic depression, as it was called then, and they call it bipolar now. So at that stage, a bit of a freak out, and what do you do from there? So yeah, medication, taking it, not taking it, wondering why you don't fit in.
I was in a psych ward numerous times between the ages of 15 and 17 for self-harm, for severe depression. And I've never felt more lonely in my life. I've never felt more isolated. I have never felt more like a freak or like there was something wrong with me.
Many years ago, I worked in a hostel called the Matthew Talbot in Sydney. At that time, it was a 500-bed hostel. The one thing that I made sure I did was remember a person's name. There was a nun there was an old nun, Yvonne, and she said to me, just remember that person's name. Whatever you do, remember that person's name, and you'll see miracles. And I tell you what, she was right.
Thank you.
We have created a community where people can live with the right level of support, enabling them to be creative, to work, to do college courses, to grow at their own pace. This is what we want. We want each person to grow in their own time, and that's what is the uniqueness about Emmaus.
When I came to Emmaus, the amount of respect and tolerance that Al had for us was really good. And he gives you space. He's not standing over trying to change your life. It's like the doctors have this thing where they've got to get you to straighten up and flow right and stuff like this. But Al just gives you the space to do what you want to do, which is really refreshing.
When I first encountered Emmaus, I imagined it to be a hostel type environment where young people with mental illness can come and recover and then go. But what I found out was that it's a home and that people can come here and live here in a community with all the support around them and company that they need to help them recover.
Emmaus is a place for the people. It's where we've got people who've come across hard times and they've come to a place where they can stay and live in peace and harmony, away from the different challenges that they've got, and somewhere they can call home.
We want appropriate accommodation to be set up for our patients that would allow them to thrive and live independently as much as possible, that will allow for their quality of life to be the best it can possibly be.
We've created a place where people at Emmaus can flourish. Hospital visits are less, the severity of illness and length of illness are less.
Since he settled into this place, he's never been back in hospital again. He has to go to hospital once a month to check up on the medication, do blood tests and things like that, but he's never been a patient in hospital since he really settled into here.
What we're trying to do is to provide a place where people are free to be who they are, assist them in whatever journey they have, and to welcome them when they feel unwelcomed by whatever is out there in the big bad world, so to speak.
Brother Al's managed to capture and sustain the ideal of what we would want for people who are on the fringes and those who are most vulnerable in our society. So he's managed to capture that essence of what really it is to be a human being and to love.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me.
It's turned me around because I used to shut away from everyone. I didn't believe in myself and I used to be blind, like no vision in my life. I had a lot of anxiety attacks. I wouldn't go anywhere. I used to hide in my room when everyone come. I couldn't go on transport, couldn't go on a bus, couldn't do all that. I got my confidence back. I went to Central TAFE for 2 years. I've done a literacy course.
We respect each other because everyone's adult. We treat everyone alike and adults. So we give them a choice to live a free life. We don't want them, okay, this has to be done, that has been. So we give them a choice to rule their own life and live free. And we try to give them a place in society. So that makes Emmaus unique.
That grace appeared the hour I first believed.
I think Emmaus model is exceptional and it's very successful. Having a home, it's the most important thing in anybody's life.
When Alan built this room for me in my little flat and everything, I realised, hey, I am loved. And I never had that in my life before. I'd never had love. I'd never had security. And I finally realised, yes, I am loved. This is my home.
I met my wife here at Emmaus, and we were engaged for a year and we've been married 9 years. We've got 3 beautiful boys, 7, 5 and 2.
Before I met Brother Alan and I met the community, I was deeply unhappy and I was depressed and I had trust issues and I viewed the world as very negatively. And I would come here and I'd just sit here for half a day and I would talk to Brother Alan and I would talk to the other community members and it just lifted my soul.
I think it starts with a person who has a vision and has such a vision as the present director has. One that is based on respect for the people, a desire to offer a community, a supporting community, and to base it on love and mutual respect. In Emmaus in particular, Alan has that gift and that vision.
The soul of Emmaus is love. That is the soul of Emmaus. Love and trust. We are all loved and we are all respected.
I think Emmaus is incredible. I think Emmaus is magical. It is like a giant, loving, supporting, caring family that is there for you through thick and thin, through good and bad.
I'll always have that link that when I did live here, it was a crucial part of my life. And I don't think I would have got married and had kids but for that, a bit of sanity.
When I came here, my life really started to change and I started to paint and draw. Yeah. I can honestly say that Emmaus has saved my life.
Emmaus is now growing and it's doing well in the sense of growth of people. We're growing together. Now we want to share that growth with others. That's what we want to do. We want to share it with people in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Darwin, all over, maybe all over the world. We want to share this ideal and an ideal that works with others. That's what we want to do. The purpose of Emmaus is living and loving. Everything else flows from that.